I want to start by talking about a trend that has quietly taken over our culture. You see it on social media labeled with cute terms like bed rotting, or monk mode, or soft living. It is the romanticization of isolation. It is the idea that the safest, most comfortable, and most healing place you can be is inside the four walls of your own home, shut off from the noise of the outside world. But I am here to offer a counterargument. A warning, actually. I believe that for many of us, the home has ceased to be a sanctuary and has become a cage. And the most dangerous part of this cage is that it is comfortable. It has snacks, it has high-speed internet, and it has streaming services. It demands nothing of you. I want to tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Alex. Alex is the definition of a high achiever. He graduated from an Ivy League university, secured a prestigious job in finance, and was on the fast track to success. Last year, burnt out, he decided to take a sabbatical. He planned to take 6 months off to recharge at home. The first month looked great. He slept in. He read books. He caught up on shows. But by month 4, something had shifted. When I finally dragged him out for lunch, he looked gray. He told me, "The scariest thing isn't that I'm not making money. It's that I feel like my bones have been removed." He described a paralysis where even the simple act of walking to the grocery store felt like climbing Everest. He wasn't depressed in the clinical sense, but he had lost his vitality. He had lost his edge. He had become, in his own words, boneless. What Alex experienced is a phenomenon that biology and psychology have warned us about for decades. When you detach yourself from the friction and stimulation of the real world for too long, you don't just rest. You atrophy. Today, I want to explore the science of why staying home is slowly dismantling your cognitive abilities, your social resilience, and your future, and why the only cure is to open the door and step outside. To understand why isolation is so damaging, we have to look at how the human brain is wired. Your brain is an energy-conserving machine. Its primary goal is to keep you safe and burn as few calories as possible. When you are out in the world, commuting, navigating a busy street, ordering coffee, making small talk, your brain is constantly processing new data. It is predicting traffic, reading facial expressions, and adjusting to changing temperatures. This is called environmental friction. And just like weightlifting builds muscle, environmental friction builds cognitive density. It keeps your neuroplasticity firing. Now consider your home. Your home is a zero-friction environment. You know exactly where the bathroom is. You know exactly what is in the fridge. The temperature is controlled. There are no surprises. When you stay in a zero-friction environment for weeks or months, your brain stops predicting. It stops adapting. And because the brain operates on a use-it-or-lose-it principle, those cognitive pathways begin to prune themselves. This leads to a phenomenon I call the time blur. Have you ever noticed that when you stay home for a long weekend, you can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday? That is because memory relies on episodic markers, distinct events that anchor us in time. A commute, a meeting at a coffee shop, a strange interaction on the subway. These are markers. When you stay home, the markers vanish. Tuesday looks like Thursday. The morning looks like the evening. Your life becomes a flat, gray line. You aren't living, you are simply existing in a suspended state of animation. You are reducing your life to a single repetitive loop, and your brain is literally shrinking to fit the size of that loop. There is a second, more immediate consequence to this lifestyle, and it affects your ability to function in society. I call it becoming socially feral. We often think of social skills like riding a bike. Once you learn them, you have them forever. That is false. Social skills are not like riding a bike. They are like speaking a second language. If you don't use it, you lose it. I have interviewed dozens of people who spent the last few years working fully remotely, rarely leaving their apartments. When they finally had to go to a networking event or a job interview, they described a terrifying sensation. They couldn't hold eye contact. They struggled to find the right words. They felt an overwhelming anxiety during basic interactions. They had to become introverts. They had experienced functional regression. We are social primates. Our nervous systems are designed to co-regulate with others. We rely on micro-expressions, tone of voice, and body language to navigate the world. When you replace 90% of your interactions with text on a screen or a Zoom call where you can turn your camera off, those primal muscles atrophy. This is why After a long period of isolation, the world feels loud and aggressive. It isn't that the world has changed. It is that your tolerance for stimulation has plummeted. You have become sensitized. And in a society that rewards communication, negotiation, and connection, becoming socially feral is a career death sentence. Let's dig deeper into the psychology of the home. The home is the ultimate comfort zone, and while comfort is good for recovery, it is fatal for resilience. When you are in a public space, let's say a library or an office, and you hit a difficult task, you are surrounded by social pressure. You see other people working, so you keep working. There is a collective energy that holds you accountable. When you are at home and you hit a difficult task, what happens? The bed is 10 feet away. The refrigerator is fully stocked. The PlayStation is right there. No one is watching. No one is judging. The barrier to quitting is non-existent. Over time, this erodes your grit. Your threshold for discomfort lowers. Tasks that used to take you an hour of defocus now make you want to quit after 15 minutes. You start bargaining with yourself. I'll just take a quick nap. I'll just watch one episode. I experienced this personally during the lockdowns of 2020. At first, I thought I would be incredibly productive. I had no commute. I had all day. But within 2 months, my productivity had collapsed. I would wake up and doom scroll for 2 hours. I would procrastinate until 4 p.m., then feel guilty, then stay up late to catch up, ruining the next day. It wasn't a lack of time. It was a lack of structure. Without the external container of a workplace or a third place, my discipline dissolved like sugar in hot water. There is an even more insidious danger to staying home, especially for creative people or knowledge workers. It is the death of new ideas. Creativity is not magic. It is synthesis. It is the collision of two unrelated ideas to form a new one. But to have synthesis, you need inputs. You need raw material. When you stay home, your inputs are static. You are staring at the same four walls, talking to the same people or cats, and consuming the same algorithmic content on your phone. Your mind becomes an echo chamber. You think you are reflecting or strategizing, but usually you are just ruminating. You are recycling old thoughts. I found that when I finally forced myself to go sit in a coffee shop, my writer's block vanished. Why? Because of the ambient noise. The snippet of conversation I overheard at the next table. The way the light hit the window. The outfit someone was wearing. These tiny, random stimuli act as sparks for the brain. They jolt you out of your default mode network. You cannot think outside the box if you are physically living inside a box. To think big, you need to be in a space that is bigger than you. You need the chaotic, messy, beautiful energy of the real world to feed your subconscious. Finally, I want to talk about the most tangible loss of the hermit lifestyle: opportunity cost. We love to optimize. We stay home to save money on gas, to save money on $7 lattes, to save 40 minutes of commuting time. We think we are being smart. We are optimizing our resources, but we are ignoring the serendipity deficit. Most of the best things that have happened in your life, meeting your partner, finding your best client, stumbling upon a life-changing book, getting a job offer, were likely the result of random collisions. They happened because you were out there. You cannot engineer luck from your living room. When you stay home, you reduce your surface area of luck to zero. You might save $500 a month by making coffee at home, but you might cost yourself a $50,000 career opportunity that would have come from a chance meeting at a conference or a co-working space. This cost is invisible. You don't see the opportunities you missed. You don't see the friends you didn't meet. But over the course of a year or a decade, the cumulative loss is staggering. The people who win in life are the ones who put themselves in the path of traffic of ideas, traffic of people, traffic of opportunity. So, what is the solution? Am I saying you need to go back to a soul-crushing corporate cubicle 9 to 5? Absolutely not. Am I saying you should never have a lazy Sunday? Of course not. Rest is vital. But there is a difference between rest and rot. There is a difference between solitude and isolation. If you're currently in a phase where you rarely leave your house, whether it's because you work remotely, you're unemployed, or you just identify as a homebody, I'm urging you to treat this as a medical emergency for your mind. You need to reintroduce friction. You need to find a third place. In sociology, the first place is home, and the second place is work. The third place is the community anchor, the library, the cafe, the park, the gym. You need to go there. Not once a month. Daily. Even if you don't talk to anyone. Just being in the presence of other humans, regulating your nervous system with theirs, feeling the temperature of society, it changes your biology. Here is my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, do not start your day on the sofa. Put on real clothes, not sweatpants. Real clothes. Pack your bag and leave your house. Go to a coffee shop and work for 3 hours. Go to the public library and read. Go for a long walk in a busy part of town. Watch what happens to your energy levels. Watch what happens to your focus. Watch how the fog lifts. You will realize that the fatigue you felt wasn't because you were tired. It was because you were understimulated. You were bored. You will realize that the world is actually charging your battery, not draining it. Humans are not designed to be potted plants. We are explorers. We are hunters. We are social animals. Your life is not happening on the screen in your bedroom. It is happening out there, in the chaos and the noise and the friction. I want to know your thoughts on this. Have you felt the rot creeping in? And more importantly, where is your favorite third place to go when you need to escape the house and get things done? Is it a loud diner? Quiet library? Let me know in the comments below. If this video gave you the push you needed to grab your keys and walk out the door, please hit the like button and subscribe. We explore the psychology of a better life every single week. Get up, get out, and I will see you out there.